Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. The UK economy grew more than expected in February, according to the latest official figures. Several factors contributed to the surprise rise, including a boost in manufacturing and production. It comes as a welcome surprise as the UK braces for the impact of tariffs on goods being exported to the US. The Chancellor says it is good news, but that more work needs to be done. Here's our business correspondent, Mark Ashdown.
At this 3D printing company in Warwickshire, they design and manufacture parts for the car industry. Precision is everything. They've had to carefully weigh up all the global and domestic headwinds as they plot their path to growth.
We're continuing to grow and the trajectory is fantastic, again 50 to 100% year on year. More than anything, it's made us look at staffing plans. So where we were looking to get to where we are now, 27 staff to 100 staff in the next 18 months. That's seen a massive reduction, so we're now looking at trying to get to between 30 to 40 people at a push.
Manufacturing was one of the big driving forces behind today's surprisingly positive growth figures. In February, the economy expanded overall by 0.5%, well above expectations. Production was the standout sector, growing by 1.5%, with the manufacturing of computer, electronic and pharmaceutical products especially strong. Services, which accounts for about 80% of economic output, also grew by 0.3%. Car dealerships, telecommunications and computer programming all performed well.
GDP also grew 0.6% in the 3 months up to February. Again, more than expected, which suggests it's more robust right now than many economists thought. But there are some big challenges ahead. Prices are rising at a faster rate than the Bank of England would like, which is weighing on household finances. Some of October's budget measures are only now starting to increase costs for businesses, and the impact on growth from the uncertainty around global trade is right now proving impossible to predict.
The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, welcomed the figures as encouraging, but recognised the landscape remains difficult.
We do know that we need to go further and faster on delivering growth that is felt by families up and down the country. So we're not complacent about these numbers. There's more work to be done.
The government is expected to fast-track measures around planning and regulations to try and support growth.
We're doing very well. It's been amazing. We had a big day yesterday.
But brokering a trade deal with America is also seen as crucial. So too the fallout from Donald Trump's tariffs.
Unlike a lot of other countries where the impact is so obviously large and negative, the UK is in a more nuanced position. There is uncertainty. Tariffs on UK exports to the US certainly bad news. But on the other hand, I think the UK has an opportunity to maybe draw some investment, some spending that would have otherwise gone to the US.
Half of the parts they make here in Warwickshire are exported to the US. They're now planning to open another factory out there to expand further. Businesses everywhere are fine-tuning their plans as the global picture continues to change.
So it is a pretty positive picture all round at the moment. We had some good growth back in December. January's figure was today revised up from a tiny contraction to flat growth, and now this big boost in February. So the good news is the economy is looking in pretty good health right now. But, and how did you know there was a but coming there? This was always seen as being the kind of calm before the storm, really. Energy prices have been creeping up once more. Inflation remains stubbornly high. It's not quite clear the path of interest rate reductions, and of course businesses now grappling with those increased costs from the budget. So April onwards was already seen as being a bit tough, and that's before you introduce the unpredictability factor of Donald Trump. Despite the softening, shall we say, of the mood music coming out of the White House, those 10% tariffs on all goods everywhere coming into the US remain. More tariffs for cars and steel, of course. So I think much will depend on brokering a good trade deal between the UK and the US, but also on deals with other countries as this global trade map is redrawn. That's why Rachel Reeves met the Indian finance minister this week. That's why pretty much now she's on her way to Poland to meet her EU counterparts. How those potential deals land, I think will have a big impact on the future direction of travel for the economy.
Thanks, Mark.